I'd like to welcome in another reporter who has covered LeBron James for a long time, our NBA insider Brian Windhorst. So, Brian, having been around LeBron for many, many years, what do you think his role is in all this hoopla that's surrounding the Lakers?
He's got to manage Russell Westbrook. In the next 24 to 48 hours, Malika, this is an incredibly volatile situation because they crossed the Rubicon last night by benching Westbrook in this game. LeBron James speaks not only for the organization, but obviously speaks for the way the team is going to operate and handling Westbrook and how he's going to manage this, because this was not a one-game move. This is going to be something that is going to continue going forward. And whether Westbrook wants to stay in the fold, whether Westbrook wants to push his teammates away, is going to define this road trip and maybe the rest of this Lakers season. It's a very sensitive time. When I talk to people across the league today, everybody wants to know, what is Russell Westbrook going to say when he speaks to the media for the next time, whether that's tomorrow morning, whether that's tomorrow after the game against Orlando, because nobody knows. You know, this could go south very, very quickly. People are watching this because if you lose Westbrook, this is a situation he's never been in before. This is something that could define where the Lakers go. The focus is no longer on Frank Vogel. Vogel has made his move. His move is he's going to go down. If he's going to go down, he's going to go down not playing Russell Westbrook at the end of these games. And so now the focus is on Westbrook, not so much on Vogel.
Well, and as Adrian Wojnarowski mentioned earlier in our show, essentially Russell Westbrook's contract is immovable. So seeing how they work this out, that's going to be interesting. And while I have you, Brian, I do want to look towards the trade deadline on February 10th. We saw Joel Embiid. He dropped 50 points in 27 minutes last night. So while the Sixers have said that they're willing to hold on to Ben Simmons until the offseason, and even beyond that, do you get the sense that they're willing to stand pat here?
Well, Daryl Morey gave what I would call a wild radio interview today within the last hour in Philadelphia, and he said a whole bunch of things. Unfortunately, a lot of what Daryl says publicly you have to disregard as not being true, because that's the way he has operated for a long time. However, he basically said today that because Joel Embiid is playing so fantastically, they are going to lower their asking price for Ben Simmons. He also said they're still unlikely to make a trade, but he said, we'll expand our player pool that we're willing to trade from 30 to 40, whatever that kind of blah, blah, blah means to you. Good luck. But this is what I've heard from league executives in the last few days. They're like, how can they stand here with Joel Embiid having one of the great seasons in Sixer history? And I just said that knowing that Will Chamberlain and Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley played for them. It's still one of the great seasons in history, and not have the greatest chance to win the title because they don't do something with Ben Simmons. So he went so far as to say, I can make a deal with the Sacramento Kings. There's a trade there to be made with the Sacramento Kings. Morey said wild stuff. I promise you, when this all gets digested, it's going to be all over, over the next day. But he's clearly signaling that he may be changing his position in terms to a Ben Simmons trade.
Well, I guess now